reaching to where the sap is.
Hold that thought. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the West Comics. My name is Frank. Sonny is here.
What it do, brother?
What a good-looking guy, and that shirt is sweet.
I'm still going for best t-shirts in the game. This one's really cool.
Well, I wear a black t-shirt every week, so
It's
you're
okay.
gonna beat me.
He doesn't know who to introduce.
I'm nervous. Hot Dog Paul is over here.
Only done it
Hi.
1,000
I'm
times.
Yeah.
here. My hair looks wonderful today, by the way.
You're morphing.
We were gonna mention that.
You're really slowly morphing into that dude from You.
Penn Badgley?
Yeah, dude, you really are.
Kind of looks like I have a toupee on right now, though. I don't know how to feel about that.
You don't
That does look like a little.
You got a
toupee.
bouffant.
kind of like a.
I
It's
don't know
kind
what
of
a
permy.
bouffant is, but not permy. All right, well, now I feel bad about my hair.
Sorry, it's really bouncy.
Don't.
It's very bouncy.
Let's
lot of
talk about
volume.
Paul's hair for a
Anyways,
little bit.
enough of my hair.
The Don is here.
The Dawn.
How you doing?
What it do?
We're here. We're back again.
Back again.
We have a lot to talk about. I am so excited today.
Yeah, we got some good news this week. Well, good news.
No, we got
some
good news
we got
this
some
week.
I know you guys are all.
I
Like,
wanted to take you.
Jeez.
Someone's got it. Someone's got to do it, man.
God.
Someone's got to do it, man.
I don't see how it could be bad news.
It's not bad.
Guys,
not bad.
let's go back in time a little bit. It was about it's the end of December, and we were starting to hear, I guess, some small announcements that we were getting some Superman-related issues resolved with James Gunn and Peter Safran. James Gunn had kind of put out there that he was going to be doing a script treatment for Superman, and then he said by the end of January, I'm going to make some announcements with regards to the state of DC Studios and where we're headed with future projects, whether they're, and he's talking about continuity, that there was going to be some continuity among shared voice actors and shared actors amongst television shows, films, video games,
Yeah, they said gaming too.
and animated series.
Yep.
Okay. So he got it just under the gun. On the 31st, he came in with some announcements. He's calling it Chapter 4. MCU has phases, but they've got chapters now, I guess, for DC.
Cute.
How cute is that? And Chapter 1 is called Gods and Monsters. Not everyone here is excited for... not 100% excited, but we're going to take a look at this. We're going to pause it while we're watching this little announcement deal. It's about, I don't know, 5-6 hours. 5-6 hours. 5-6.
I was
like
like,
6 hours.
tune
5
in
or 6 minutes
for the rest of the night.
There you go, Tanya. Don't
I was like-
unsubscribe. It's going to be 6 hours today.
Yeah,
She wanted an hour. You got 6.
she's in.
James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios.
Hey, CD.
So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. Our job,
We're aware.
mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected. in
Thank
film,
Christ.
television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story.
You know,
and
common
if
sense.
something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle,
I'm sure he
a
really
fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television,
First
and
time in
games.
DC
This
history.
first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, this, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter.
I don't care
It's
for
not
all
the
that.
entire
Whatever.
first
Call
chapter.
it what you want.
The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor
looks like
play
us
their
after the
voice
Christmas
as who
special.
plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay. Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy.
hierarchy.
This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns.
I'm excited
This
for
is a
this
story of a couple of Green Lanterns, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a
Let's pause it right there
terrestrial-based
just a moment.
TV
I wanted to get your guys' reaction. We've got, so we had Superman Legacy.
Yep.
What do they call Superman Legacy or Superman Legend? Superman Legacy.
Legacy.
This True Detective themed Lanterns series.
All about that one.
You're shaking your head.
I'm thumbs up for that one, for
You're,
sure.
you're okay with that.
You can keep that one. Yeah.
And then the animated thing, Creature Commandos, that he actually wrote. James Gunn wrote all of those. He's doing the script treatment for Superman. He's doing post-production on Guardians Volume 3. He's working on the second season of Peacemaker. You'll notice that in these announcements, there's no mention of Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
Just putting it out there.
Just the Amanda Waller team up stuff.
I feel like he probably would have got a lot of crap.
This is a lot of stuff.
It is.
Well, and we're not even finished with the video.
We're not even finished with the video, but there's a lot of stuff.
So later on in the video, he'll specifically mention something that one of the projects is going to be based on. He, in a later tweet, mentioned some of the things, the adaptations that this Superman movie will be and some of the other stuff. He specifically said that this Superman movie will be largely inspired by All-Star Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that that's more tonally than narratively, as Superman is much farther along in his career as Superman in that comic than he will be in this first one. They've kind of confirmed that he's going to be around 25 years old in this new book. But I think tonally going for the best Superman comic of all time is probably a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I would say so.
Shall we proceed?
Proceed.
I want to say one thing here.
Yes, sir.
I am not too hip on the Creature Commandos thing.
I don't care about the animated stuff.
But if there's one thing that James Gunn does really, really well,
It's Commandos.
it's going Commando.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
a good point,
it's taking characters that we don't necessarily know or have an affinity for and
it's
making
true.
them important in any universe that they're in.
And we're going to get to that in a second, too.
So,
More of that.
but I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on it being an animated show. But anyway, yeah, let's go.
I mean,
on.
they've always been really successful with all their animated stuff. So I guess I
That's
shouldn't.
true.
I
That's
shouldn't,
very true.
I shouldn't I bash it until I see it. You know, I'm just
That's a fair
You were going
point.
to say poo-poo it.
I was gonna say.
He was going to
poo-poo.
say
I
poo-poo,
was.
but now he's self-conscious of it because I brought it up to him.
All right, let's go back live to
show,
James
which is
Gunn.
almost like
Oh,
True
sorry, James.
Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops
I'm very excited about
watching
this.
over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the
He's very
DCU
excited.
and will interact
this
with
is
all
very
of our
exciting.
primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think
so
it's a very
2023.
different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the
excited
story
for
of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman.
Yep.
It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based
That's
on
Dick
Grant
Grayson in the
Morrison's
back house from there.
great comic book run.
Very strange.
Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of
Is that
the two
issue
of them
one? Is that
and
why
the
they're showing
beginning of
that or
sort
no?
of the Bat
No, that's
family
Batman
in
versus
DCU.
Robin. That's much later
Next
in the
up
run.
is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future
And
who
Chris
uses
Pratt
future
as-
technology to come back to
Probably.
present
That'd be really
day,
good.
Yeah,
become a
most
superhero
likely.
Really good.
so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO
That's
Max
real.
series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that
don't you
into a
got that?
big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character.
True.
And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about. A
Better be
very
rated R.
dark horror story in the
sure it will
origins
be.
of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that
guy's
this was
excited.
a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something
Johnny Bravo.
very different.
Tanya's
One of the
stupid.
things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV
dude must
series
not sleep,
is that the
Yeah, I know, for
director's
real.
vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you watching. I
Thanks.
hope this was exciting for
welcome.
you because
Thanks for
it's really
joining us.
exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
All in the Game just mentioned something I want to talk about.
Go
Talk
ahead.
about it.
So James Mangold, director of 310 to Yuma, the new Indiana Jones, and Logan, has posted a picture of Swamp Thing on his Twitter. James Mangold directing a Swamp Thing movie would be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And just
Rated
much
R.
like with the All-Star Superman thing Gunn posted about, he said Swamp Thing will be based on Alan Moore's run, which, I mean, how could you base it on
Yeah.
anything else? And then, like they were talking about with Brave and the Bold, that's going to be based on Batman and Son. I actually had some people reach out to me asking, hey, is this going to be based on the cartoon series called Brave and the Bold? I was like, no, it's a name only, shares that. It's about Batman and Son. The image that they're using to promote that is actually from Batman versus Robin later in the run
Yeah.
when Batman is dead and Dick Grayson is Batman. But that's just a really cool image of Damian Wayne and Batman.
Yeah.
That's why they keep using it. But maybe Nightwing's running around out there since
Gotta
we
be.
got Damian Wayne Robin.
That'd be really cool.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you because we were talking about this in the chat when the stuff came out. We were texting each other when all these announcements came out, and you had a little bit of reservation. So let us know what your concerns are.
I think
with this.
I think it just goes down to like not wanting to, I don't know, see this restart again and like do. I mean, we've all gone around the table multiple times saying, "Do we need another restart? Do we need another restart?" I don't have a lot of faith or hope, I guess, and it does suck. There's a couple things like the Lantern thing. I think that's amazing, and like I said, the animated series, all of them are amazing. So I'm sure they'll do very well. But Booster Gold, I don't care about. Blue Beetle, I don't care about. This new Shazam stuff doesn't matter moving forward, and I guess it does. So I don't know.
Sounds like it does.
I don't know if
Partially. I think this stuff partially matters.
And why are we doing partial then? You know
Because
what I mean?
something has to finance these movies for the next 10 years. So
For
if
sure.
he's going to promote anything. It's going to be all the slates of movies that are coming up.
Right.
Flash comes out in mid-June.
And he said that. He's quoted as saying it's one of the best comic book movies he's ever seen.
I mean,
Flash.
I'm sure he has to say that.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
feel like
Well, I mean, James Gunn is pretty transparent about how he feels about things.
but he's in a different position as CEO. He can't just come out. and say
it's like
what they said
Feige
about-
going around saying
Well, what
like
did they
Black
say
Widow's
ab-
not going to be amazing. And we're like,
Well, what did they
like,
say about
6.
Batgirl? Did you guys see what they said about Batgirl?
Yeah, but he didn't have to. That wasn't put out, and he didn't have to worry about it collapsing and not doing well because it was already not.
Yeah,
coming out.
it was already
Sure,
done.
but nevertheless, it was still bad, and everyone collectively agreed that it's bad. And it seems that everyone's collectively agreeing that the Flash is good.
With the Batgirl
I haven't
thing,
heard bad things about the Flash.
it sounds like they're still willing to. They're going to try to work with Leslie Grace, and they want to still include her. They still want her to be their Barbara Gordon. It sounds like they want to have her involved. It's not her fault.
No.
that this whole thing went
Fiasco,
the way.
man.
Oh my
It
gosh.
sucks. And it does suck because all the the CW Batwoman, Batgirl stuff didn't do good either. You know what I mean?
So I mean, I'm concerned about the Elseworlds thing. I mean, are CW shows supposed to be considered Elseworld then? Because we get that Gotham Knights thing that's kind of based on the game in March.
I think
we get that show, right?
that game sucked.
He said
Okay.
nothing about Gotham Knights, but yeah, that game was apparently not very good.
That game sucks, dude.
But I'm just excited because how long have we talked about they need someone who can head this at the helm to have a plan and have. I mean, that's what we just got.
And you can go back into further episodes. I'd be shocked if we haven't said it. Like, oh, we wish James Gunn was the guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%
And
we said that.
it was probably when all the Peacemaker stuff was going on. I was like, oh, this guy clearly knows what's up. But
The
I mean,
Suicide Squad. I mean,
there was a thing that we were going on about an actor that said, or he said rather, he's only going to play one character. We did see Aquaman is going to be a big thing moving forward. Does that mean we don't get Jason Momoa Lobo?
Well, they said that Jason Momoa has talked to them and that he's very excited about what they've pitched. To him.
Right. So
I think-
is it Ant-Man as the end and then he
Maybe
transitions into Lobo in the future?
Maybe
as a
they're
character?
giving him a trilogy and then he becomes Lobo.
well, the nature of the character of Lobo, he's going to be a CGI character. He's going to be covered in makeup. He can be both, is what I'm saying. He can be both Lobo and Aquaman. I mean, they did that with G-Mon.
But I think they said that
like-
they don't want him playing two characters.
Well,
I don't think.
But
they're gonna-
I think he's so much of like a personality because even when I see Aquaman, I'm like, oh, it's Jason Momoa pretending to be Aquaman.
Yeah, it's
and
gonna
then
be
it's
hard
like
to cover
this is
it,
like a
but-
space alien,
True.
but it's Jason Momoa.
Jimon Hansu plays like 3 different characters in the Marvel Cinematic
that's a
Universe.
good point.
I mean, and we had things, and I know there was time difference. We've had Human Torch and Captain America. You know what I mean? So like, I think maybe with more time, I would be more accepting to that. But if we get a Aquaman trilogy and then 2 years later we get like this Lobo announcement, and we're like, this is kind of strange, in my opinion. I would just say, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't really care for the character of Lobo too much. Like, I don't think he's that incredible of a character. And if I never got Lobo, I wouldn't be like.
But
"Eh."
I think as an Elseworlds project, rated R,
Maybe
or
it'll be
whatever,
that.
and
Maybe.
it's like a disconnected. I think he would do more service to that character than Aquaman. I don't know.
I would agree.
I think he could play the more like, you know.
It just sounds like they're not going to recast Aquaman, so he's going to be Aquaman, which I'm not mad at. I like him as Aquaman.
Same.
Donovan, does it concern you that? Well, I guess the announcements that we got, these are probably not all of Chapter 1's announcements. These are probably
No, I
these
think they
are
really
part
did-
of what they're.
I think he did a good job of introducing the big 3, that being Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman.
Mhm.
I'm excited for that Paradise Lost thing.
So am I. I mean, we might not see Diana. We might see the birth of
probably a
Diana
prequel
by the
series.
end,
Probably like
of
the end of it.
Well,
season 1.
he did tweet something, or there was confirmed like sources from him. It is a prequel to the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh.
It is directly connected to Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. She may or may not be in it, but it is that same continuity, which makes
Hopefully,
me
there's
think
not
going forward it's going to be the same
Macy's
continuity.
commercial at the end of
Ace,
it.
there's a couple of things in the
On the
comments here
island.
that I
The scarf.
totally agree with.
he'll
All in the
leave.
game says I think people going with it have to have managed expectations. Is the best thing possible. I totally agree. Yeah, manage your expectations,
For
but
sure.
I also think that we shouldn't be poo-pooing something that hasn't even come out yet and saying that it was bad or it's not going to work and I've never understood that because we've got a guy now who's been a part of a formula.
2 guys.
Yeah, but even more so with Gunn, he was with Marvel. I did the numbers. I not pushed up, but I looked up the numbers before the show.
pushed up on those numbers.
The DCEU has brought in to date $6 billion in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's like 2 Avatar movies.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's Endgame and Infinity War.
Marvel has brought in 28 billion.
And that's a lot of zeros.
So this idea that people are like, oh, Snyderverse was da 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 da. This is the proof right here, guys.
Yeah, for real.
Guess what? The movie business, they're not interested in something that might work.
Yeah.
This is what they're after. It's butts and seats. It's
Yeah.
money.
Ticket
And
sales.
that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
DC hasn't had that. Warner Brothers hasn't had that with these IPs. They've mismanaged these guys terribly.
Yeah.
And just giving it out to people like, hey, you get some, and you get some. And
What do you
how about
think? What do you think
I'm
their
not
collective
worried.
like a goal for this year? Because they're gonna have DC's gonna have 4 films this year. What collectively should be the
Ace
goal?
is right though.
That's what I was
He
about
says,
to say.
I think everything will be more clear once the Flash drops.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Sure.
Yeah.
We won't really know the full scope or understand what the scope is going to be until that movie
Could
happens.
they be adding something that's going to be part of James Gunn's
Oh,
universe
Gotta
in
be.
post credit
Gotta be.
of Aquaman?
Possibly.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I
sure
think
those are going to push
anything
everything
after the
forward.
Flash at that point, even with Blue Beetle as well. We have something to look
Well-
forward to. I'm hopeful for the DC.
And another
universe.
thing we haven't even talked about is they, not in that video, but in another announcement from Gunn, the Batman Part 2 is coming in October 2025.
Yo.
Confirmed.
The
Turn
same
up.
year, Fantastic Four,
Yes.
Kang Dynasty,
Yes.
Superman, and Batman,
Mm-hmm.
the Brave and the Bold, and the Superman Legacy movie,
Well,
all in 2025.
They have to though. They have to have some type of competition because I mean, if you put like, I would say like, what if like Infinity War and like Wonder Woman came out in like the same month or week? There's just no comparison to like, you know, whose studio is doing better. You
Sure.
know what I mean? So I think they have to put out the bangers. They have to like, you know, get us like hooked real soon because I mean, there's people like me. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch it for sure, but I'm not like.
There's 3 things that gives me confidence in these announcements. 1, announcements of stuff like this. This comic, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is fantastic. Tom King is an incredible writer. And the mere fact that they're making a movie about adapting this story tells me they care and they know what they're doing. Another thing that makes me confident is it's James Gunn. Everything he's produced for DC has been great.
Yeah.
Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad. Him and Safran have been involved in 2 major cinematic universes, probably the 2 highest grossing. I would be willing to bet almost anything on that. You have the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
And Police Academy.
of which Gunn worked as a director and writer in that. And then you have Safran, who headed and didn't direct, but was like the mastermind behind the Conjuring universe, which is huge. And most of those movies are successful and well received.
It's true.
So it's 2 people who know what they're doing. And we got a plan. We have an announcement. They didn't announce 100 movies and say, this is going to be the biggest thing ever. This, that, and the other. They just said, this is going to be a movie about Batman. This is going to be a movie about Superman. They're coming 3 years from now. We're working on them. They will be out. And I have full confidence that they will come out. Where in the past with DC, I'm like, I don't know what's going to come out. I don't know what matters. I don't know what's this.
Yeah.
I feel like they're
When
painting
we
a
get to
clear
it's
picture.
February, when we get to July, there's got to be casting announcements. There's got to be a big session. They can't like they've been doing in past years at San Diego Comic-Con where they're retreading trailers and the same 4 films they're talking about. Where they've got to have stuff. We need to see stuff being filmed. We need to see actor announcements. They need to hype it up.
They have the money to be able to do, you know, whatever, because they have to get all of these fans back or get these new fans butts and seats or whatever. Do you think we're going to see a large portion of actors we've seen in Marvel movies in any of these
I
new?
think we'll see a few.
James Gunn said that it's open for those guys as far as the people that he's worked with in Marvel
in the past to move over
to
into
move over. He's open to anybody take and,
I
he-
think-
and Donovan mentioned it while we're
the
talking.
Booster Gold thing would be
Chris Pratt Booster
would be
Gold.
pretty cool.
That's
I
a
think
no-brainer for me.
But the only thing that I would say about that casting is it too on the nose with Star-Lord kind of being the same
Well, I
thing
mean, if
as
he
far
fits,
as
he fits.
Kind of.
But what I love about this timeline that we're getting in 2025, so you had just mentioned something really crucial. What comes out in 2025 for Marvel again?
Kang Dynasty and Fantastic Four.
Okay, great. So King Dynasty comes out, and then
Those
the
were big.
following year we get Secret Wars, right? Or
I think,
Secret Invasion.
I think now they've
Secret
no,
Invasion.
Secret
Secret
Wars
Wars is going to be on
Secret,
Disney
no,
Plus.
Secret Invasion is the
It's-
show. Secret Wars,
Wars
will be
is the movie.
It comes
Okay.
out like a year after.
Okay,
It's going to be
great.
like the end game.
They were going to do it the same year originally. They pushed it back. Now it's like over a year apart.
Fantastic.
4.
So
Beat you to it.
those movies are coming out 1 year. So 2025, 2026. The first time we're getting DC stuff that's setting everything up is in 2025.
Well, I don't
That's the
think
first thing that they're setting up the foundation for the DCU.
I think the
as far
Flash
as-
is setting it up.
Well, I mean, as far as like he even said, like Superman, this will be the real start of the DCU.
Their slate, yeah.
So
Flash better be good, man. That's all
that
I'm gonna say.
means what's next after 2026 for Marvel?
We don't even know
Well,
yet.
can I say something controversial right now?
Uh-oh.
I
Oh,
think
please.
Hot
that
take.
clean slate, Batman, Superman, Green Lanterns, I am more excited about than Kang Dynasty.
Well, that's my point.
Like right now, sitting here in front of you.
That's my point.
Right now
is
you are.
We're setting up.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Phase 5 start yet.
Yeah, well, Phase 4 kind of sucked, so I'm not exactly have the best.
Phase 4 was very awkward.
It was
think that's
like
a nice way of saying it
the bowl cut haircut kid in the, you know what I mean? You're like, oh man, get that
Teenage
lined up.
years.
Yeah, dude. Oof.
All I'm saying is this:
Please.
what's Marvel gonna do after this?
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? And how are you gonna compete now? If DC has now laid a good foundation, this is DC's time. This is their
Well, I think
opportunity
if
right
they're
here.
ever
And
gonna
if they
catch
can't
up,
get
it's
this-
now. I mean,
if
it's
they
pretty
can't
much
do
now or
this right,
never.
then there is no faith in
We've
them
been
because
saying
they've
it's now or
timed
never
this-
for 3 years.
All in the Game just asked a question that I think the answer to me is clear. He says, "What if the Flash is not great critically or financially?" I don't think it matters. I think they're pushing into this new. I don't think. Do you
I
think,
think
if
it
the Flash-
matters.
Do you think if the Flash sucks, they're going to scrap the Brave and the Bold?
No, absolutely
Okay,
not.
well,
But the
that's what I mean.
foundation,
I don't think
It
they're
doesn't matter.
scrapping any of this
the
stuff based
foundation
on how
of-
these
No.
films
the
do.
foundation of everything is like, okay, this is the best comic book movie. If the guy in the head of it is telling us, the watchers, the viewers, that this is the best thing ever, and it
Right.
sucks. What faith do I
guess
have in everything else?
My point is, well, they didn't produce that movie.
I'm just
That's
saying.
why it doesn't affect my faith in them. They're peddling something else that was
I
produced
understand
by
what
other
you're
people.
saying, though, Sonny. If
And
it's not good, then,
if that's not
yeah.
good, but it manages to reset the universe, clean slate for the next slate of movies, I don't
Bring it
care.
on.
I don't care.
And I think people want to hate this movie for
Yeah,
one reason
definitely.
and one
Well,
reason
Ezra
only.
Miller, yeah.
Ezra Miller.
I mean, I have a sour taste about it. Even when I think about like how awesome this movie could be, and like all these, we're gonna see different Batman and all that kind of stuff. I do have kind of like a sour taste because I'm like, yeah, that guy sucks, dude. Like,
We get the first trailer, the first official trailer for The Flash is going to be Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep.
We're getting that. And
And
we're
see,
getting a
since-
Fast 10 trailer. I
Since
think,
it's
thing,
Gunn
too.
Family.
and Saffron,
Family,
and
baby.
Gunn said, "Hey, you're gonna get a DC announcement by the end of January," and we got it.
We got
I
it.
believe him that we're gonna get the trailer
Yeah,
for the
that's
Super
nice.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Everything he said, he has done so far. So I have no reason not to believe
Is
that.
the Flash done filming and all
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, they're done.
They'll probably add a like a
hope.
post credit type thing that's
I think
gonna-
they did already.
that has to involve with what's going on.
They
Yeah,
probably
I'd
cut
be willing
something
to
and they
bet they
cut it
did.
out. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Black Adam. He's like, I'm still sitting here.
guys, we ran short on time. This was a lot of stuff to go over, so we kind of ran over. We'll save some stuff for next week. We got 2 weeks away from Ant-Man.
2. Okay. Yeah.
So be on the lookout for some stuff this weekend.
Yeah.
We've got Run It Back. It's going to be premiering. I think it's up there now.
Run it back. When this video ends, when you're done watching this live show, go to our channel. You will be able to watch Run It Back on Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Us guys talking about how great that movie it is and how much we love it. And we want to hear what you guys think. So that's going to be up right now. Like once this live stream ends, go watch it.
Better than the best.
Yeah, Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya specifically. You have
Yeah. We didn't go an hour, but we went
half an
35
hour
minutes.
stuff is unnecessary.
Donovan, what do you got for people?
This is going to be great. I don't see how anyone couldn't be excited for this. Sonny, you should be excited for this. We're getting new comic book stuff.
I'm not excited, dude. I just don't have a
Unsullied
lot of
comic book
hope
stuff.
and faith that
That's not excited.
I'm excited to see this stuff. But
I
I'm not like-
understand.
Okay.
I
get it.
understand.
There's some trepidation.
There is.
Okay.
All right.
That's valid.
Guys, we love you. I don't know. We doing tacos tonight?
Absolutely.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely. Follow us on all the socials.
Yeah.
Into the West Comics
Follow-
on
come on,
Instagram.
Sonny the Hat.
TikTok, _comics on Twitter. Find us on wherever you listen to your audio podcasts, platform, whatever. And and Feed Finder.
I didn't say badass today.
Nope, but I did say Feed Finder.
Cheers, guys.
Later, guys. Thank you.